Ladies and gentlemen, be seated. The program will start in 5 minutes. Please be seated. Been good, Jason. How you been, sir?
Good to see you.
Always nice to see you.
Yes. Good to be here. Good to be here.
We got knocked over. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is going to begin. The beautiful models, if you can have your seats, we'll be able to get started. You guys are so pretty. What's up, Kathy? The program's going to begin, so we can get everybody to be seated. Papa Dia, please come to the stage. Papa Dia. We're ready to begin the event. If we can have everybody be seated. Papa Dia, come to the stage. Why? What's he gonna do when he comes? Oh yeah, much better. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Shh. I like that. Welcome to the 8th annual African Impact Gala. Put your hands together. Thank you for being out and supporting this event. For all the men in the house, I want you to make some noise just to let them know you're in here from everywhere in the world. Put some hands and make some noise, young men. Now, the ladies, I want you to make that noise that they made in the Woman King, that little, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Can you do that? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Anytime we have fun, I want to hear that noise, okay? Because the women rule. That's what we know. One of the things that we have going on is the theme of this year's gala is breaking barriers and bringing us together because we're in a country that needs a little unity at this time, don't you think? We can do this together. We don't have to do it apart. So let's make this night memorable, and we're going to have a very good time. I also want to take a moment to recognize the Strings Quartet. They're over there. And we have a very special occasion for one of the people on that group. Anna's birthday is tonight, so let's give her a little bit of happy birthday. Play it for them so we can hear, we're going to sing. Happy birthday to you. How old are you? Oh, y'all ain't going to go there, huh? Okay. And many more. That's old school, isn't it? That's the way we love to do it here. I want to also acknowledge all the sponsors and the people that contributed money for this special event. I hope you like the setting. I hope you like the surroundings because without you, it wouldn't be possible. Very much thank you for all of your support. We do this, and we're doing it right because of you. I'd now like to bring up the person that made this all possible to have this beautiful setting. Isn't this beautiful? It's lovely. Denver is, as always, right, going to give us the best weather it can. It's been 90 degrees every day for the last 30 days, and today we get 70. You got to love this city right here. No rain, just nice cloud cover, beautiful setting, but it's all possible because of the person who runs this organization. He's also now a alumni of mine with the Cleo Parker Dance with the Stars. He joined me. So welcome to the stage, the Executive Director, Brian Vogt.
Thank you so much. I don't know about you, but if you ever want to find an alternative energy source, a clean, dynamic energy source that seems to be unstoppable, go to the Daryl and Lori Collier household. The two of them together can move mountains. Give them a big hand. They are just absolutely incredible. And if you ever feel a little down and you need some inspiration, if you need somebody to lift your spirits and make you see great possibilities ahead, just spend 5 minutes with Papa. He's just a wonder, isn't he? Such a great friend. I don't know, it seems like about 30 years ago, it was probably a dozen years ago, I went to my first African Impact, and it was in a very crowded room over by Mile High Stadium. And it was very loud, and it was intense, and there was dancing, and there was music, and there was Papa. And afterward, I said, you know what? I think you belong at Denver Botanic Gardens. I think you need to be surrounded by beauty and life because you bring so much of that to the entire community. And the fact that you've called us home all this time just means the world to all of us at the Gardens. Just know that this entire community is changing the world. That's something we want to do too. We want to heal our society, and you are helping us do it. So have a great evening. Just know you are so welcome here for all time. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for letting us be here. We now have a special presentation. Can I bring up my people for the Unity poem? Respect. No, the music. We got it. Thank you. Shout out, much love to the people of Senegal. That's what she's talking about. So we got to be there for all of the African family, all the human family. You know what I mean? We're going to look into that. I might as well just bring y'all in. This poem right here is for the human family. And it goes a little something like this. Our history did not begin in chains. I am African rhythms thumping in a breakdance battle in Brooklyn. I am foundational Black American, born in the basement of the American dream. A lynch rope for an umbilical cord, attached to a motherland we've long forgotten. The trauma of my ancestors is embedded in my DNA. So we sang, our story is wild as a swing dance to Louisiana jazz.
Our ancestor spirits carry us and our bones are made of stardust. Surviving the whips, chains, and segregation, forced to build families and this nation without reparations. The sweat from our brow paved the ground for the red, white, and blue. A star-spangled noose choking the life out of my ancestors, and still we rise. The blood and bones I carry are rich, and yet they are seen as opposite. I am the people who have been hated, feared, misunderstood, and revered. I'm the unstoppable, indestructible human expression of love and resilience. I am unapologetically black in all shades and rhythms. I am the bridge between yesterday's sorrows and a child's hope for tomorrow.
We are the immigrants from the home of all humanity. Once a continent with no barriers and borders is still a cradle of hope for all. A land so often spoken of but seldom actually listened to.
We are Africa.
6 letters that speak to the diversity of its many nations. How can you minimize such a grandeur to such simplistic words, depictions, otherings? North, south, central, east, west, the beauty of the high peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro to the rolling hills in Cape Town, the waters of the Niger and the vast of the Sahara Desert. This poem is yesterday and tomorrow, celebrating the past, present, and future, our ancestors. This poem will tell of history.
I am the bridge.
To a world where the weak coexist with the strong.
Until we find a world where we all can belong. And speaking of belonging, us, Latinos, know about how borders can divide. Many have tried to put us down by saying we are unworthy of being here. But what would this country be without us?
A
Mother Earth with an empty womb. They want us in the shadows, forgotten in history's tomb.
But I am like an eagle crossing the borderless sky. I am mestizo. I am not from here or there. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá. I am from everywhere. And I would rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. My dream is for unity, justice, and peace
amongst all nations, cultures, and creeds.
My Jewish faith is about creating a world where we all can breathe in peace, always with an eye, heart, and mind on God's work, the Torah.
And the other eye on persecution.
Wary, careful, always looking over our shoulders. Are we safe here, and for how long? Fitting into American society, but then not. Assimilating only as far as society will allow. In the words of the ethics of our fathers, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I'm only for myself, who am I?
And if not now, when?
We are European American. We walk into the room white with a lowercase w and a backpack filled with privilege. By our bootstraps, we capitalized, we colonized, consumed, and exploited people and earth. We called it freedom.
This is the barrier we will break.
The bridge we will build is made of recognition and restoration. Recognition of real justice and universal humanity. Restoration of a shared vision for a common destiny. The bridge has planks of empathy and action. Empathy that binds us to each other's lives and stories. Actions that amplify the quietest of voices and create new histories. Understanding where we are so we can see what's ahead.
Dismantling the systems that oppress and cause dread.
Because we live courageously and creatively. We are Asian Americans. We are born with hair as black as ink, and we have eyes like coal, and yet we see nothing but light all around us. Dismantling the stereotypes of the modern minority.
While building a future for our families.
Discipline, hard work, and respect are hallmarks of the Asian community. Virtues we share with the very best of humanity. Kamsa Hamnida.
What I am today is because of you.
And where we are today is on indigenous land. The Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho still sing on the wind. Can you hear them among the roar of the traffic? There's a sound that captivates our ears. Under the grass, beneath the soil, you have to get close. They are drums, low and forceful. Like mother's heartbeat, steady, persistent, she calls to her children, remember who you are. Your umbilical cord is your connection to this universe, the sun, the stars, the water, the land your people have walked for time immemorial.
We are humanity.
Brothers and sisters across water and distance.
Here we have found each other.
Our fear set aside for friendship.
Please remember we are family.
Today is a new day to stand together.
Foot to foot, shoulder to shoulder.
In beautiful colors and shades.
We are the indestructible woven thread. We are the bridge to the world of tomorrow.
Thank you, and very impactful. Thank you again for that round of applause, because they did a very fine job of explaining how we're going to break these barriers. Thank you very much. That was very well done. Papa Dia, can I have you up here, please? I'd also like to acknowledge U.S. Senate, U.S. State Representative Jason Crow. Come on, Jason, stand up. He's been a solid supporter of us. He comes every year. That is very, very special. I want to take this moment, if I may, to read a proclamation for you and the ALG organization. It says, the state of Colorado, whereas during African Immigrant Month, we celebrate our collective accomplishments, annually highlight our community champions, and underscore the importance of ongoing civic engagement. And whereas during African Immigrant Month, we showcase the positive contributions of African people in the state of Colorado. And whereas we seek to honor the African community's positive impact across Colorado and celebrate the diversity that they contribute across our state and within our local communities. And whereas during the month of August, we recognize the value African immigrants This is real. Add to Colorado's cultural, economic strength. Therefore, I, Jared Polis, Governor of the state of Colorado, do hereby proclaim the month of August 2023 African Immigrant Month. You earned it. You earned it. You're my brother.
Aye. All right. Thank you so much, Congressman, for being here. Appreciate it. And it's going to be a very hard next 5 months, next 5 minutes. As I stand here, I can't help it to think about my father and my mother. I remember my father being such a strong man, but later in his life, he couldn't put together 2 sentences without crying. And I asked Mom, why all of a sudden Dad is so emotional? Her answer to me was, with age. When you get to a certain age in your life, you will cry for things that means a lot. So I need tissue, whoever had tissue that can hand it over to me here. So, but Brother Darrell, thank you, and Congressman Crow, thank you for being here. And I would appreciate if you give me the honor to stay here while I just go through a couple of things I would like to share with this beautiful crowd. Now, as you heard, this year's theme is breaking barriers and building bridges among all people. And usually when I get here on the stage, it's to talk about the African Leadership Group, the work we do, the journey, my history. But today I want to use this moment to talk about what this beautiful community can do when they come together. I want to use this opportunity to talk about how each and every one of you under this tent has impacted me in my life. There's a reason that we just performed this beautiful poem. And there's a reason that we have all this beautiful. And I need your help for the next 5 minutes to do this with me, and let's do this together. And as I mentioned, whatever group you might affiliated with, I just need you to stand up, right? So the journey of community service, we all know it. It's very difficult. It's very hard. The reality is there is no way I would be able to do this work without my family, starting with my beautiful wife sitting here. And my beautiful children, the 3 girls, wherever they are, they're probably busy working somewhere. Daddy loves you. You mean everything to Daddy. So, but I would like every single person that identifies as an African immigrant to just please stand up for a minute. If you are sitting and you identify as somebody from Africa, please stand up. Thank you. Now, we call Africa Mother Africa. We call it the cradle of humanity. And when we go through this poem, you heard it. My daughter was performing, and she said, "We are Africa." And the reason that I ask you to stand up is to showcase my gratitude to every single one of you. Because when I started this organization, I did not call it Senegalese Leadership Group. I called it African Leadership Group. Because I wanted to showcase, when we come together, what we can do as one people. And that's what you did. I was able to do this with your help. I'm so grateful to you. It doesn't matter if you're from South, North, West, East. Today is your day. And you should be very proud of you. So thank you so much. Can I get water? So now, thank you. You can be seated. Thank you. Now, I want to ask my African American people to stand up. Please, please, if you identify yourself as somebody from the black community, be on your feet. I just want you to know, everything we are here in this nation, it's because of you. We are standing in the shoulders of everything that you have sacrificed. The blood, the fight, your life. And as African immigrants, if you are here to enjoy freedom, if you are here to enjoy integration, if you are here to enjoy success, it's because of you. It's because of your work. And you've seen it, you've heard it. You've heard Brother Darrell reading the proclamation as an African American, seeing himself as an African, crying with us on this specific day. The Collier family embraced me since day one. Laurie, wherever you are, we can never thank you enough, and your family. We are so grateful. My brother Jason, wherever you are sitting, we met at the State Capitol. And since that day, you never left me, brother. So you should be very proud of you and this organization where we are, thanks to you and your support. And I see you. My brother Dr. Malcolm, brother Omar, Regina, Dr. Mordecai, every single one of you, Mama Cleo, every single one of you. So we are here to enjoy this freedom and this greatness. Thank you to everything you've done and continue to do. Let's stay together because we are one people, one continent, and one nation. So thank you. Thank you. You can be seated. Thank you. You know, this next one going to be tough. Everybody that identify themselves as Jewish, please stand up. Please. Just please, because this is a very, very special moment for me. Very special. Now, for this family of mine, there's so much I can say. Mr. Kovalis, I need you to stand up, please. You know, there are people that pick you from the street when you are nothing and nobody and transform you and turn you into gold, and everybody want to stand next to you. That's what you have done. Thank you. I love you. This is a father to me. This man followed me and his family all the way to Senegal. Now he's more Senegalese than me. He spent times in Senegal and I'm here in Colorado. That's how much he cared, that's how much he is genuine. So Suzanne, wherever you are, when I talk to you about this dream of doing this breaking barrier poem, and one thing that I've retained, if I'm not for myself, who is for me? But if I'm only for myself, then who I am. And that's what Jewish people, that's what you showcase. You are not only for yourself, and you are for humanity. And thank you so much for what you've done. Thank you. Be seated. Where's my Latino people? Let's hear it. 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 Now, we spend a lot of time with the Latino community and we've been learning. And come to find out when we were spending time working on this poem, our struggle being the same. Our journey is totally the same. Family-oriented and caring for people, always working hard to serve our family. Just know that people might try to put borders between us, but we see each other. And we love each other. And we contribute to the building of this great nation. As you know, this country is where it is today because the sweat of the Latino people. And we see it, and we are so grateful. We thank you. B, Laura, Jesus, and I can go on and go on. They are all part of the African Leadership Group, and we love you for your care and your love. Thank you so much. Where's Miss Becky? Please, and everybody that identify as Asian people, please stand up. Please. Miss Becky, you and the Asian community, and I know the Senegalese delegation got to spend a lot of time with you. Your love and your care and your appreciation. I know you love me like your own son because you don't even wait for me to call. You always call and say, Papa, how can I help? So one thing that I always return, we are small in stature, but we have a heart of a giant. And we see that and we appreciate that. So thank you so much for being here, and we love you. Now, my European American, and please stand up, please, please. And I think about, as I said, I think about Brian, I think about Flip, I think about Claire, I think about all these people that impacted me and just transformed my life. And Brian, I'm going to have to start with you. I know we fight always and argue, you are my mentor, no, you are the mentee, I'm the mentee. I'm putting you on the spot in front of everybody. Officially, I learned from you, and you are my mentor. And when I met Brian, as he mentioned, when he came to the first Afrik Impact, we were in a very small setting. He made it an obligation to get us to this beautiful venue. And today, if we are here as an organization celebrating 17 years of existence, and out of the 17 years, we ran it for 13 years without funding. And I said that 13 years without funding, we run this organization. So thanks to the support of Colorado Succeed, thanks to the support of the Arvada Center, thanks to the support of every single one of you that's embracing us as one of you. So we love you, and we are very grateful for you for welcoming us and making us feel at home. We see you. Paul, wherever you're sitting, where's Paul Snyder? I got to put you on the spot. Paul, could you raise your hand? Paul, don't hide. Paul, and I know I'm going to be in trouble. Yep, he's right there in the back. Please give this man a round of applause. Paul, invite the entire African community to his office to learn the U.S. Constitution. So that's how much you transform our life. And I want to thank you and appreciate you for that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, the reason that I wanted to end it with the Native American, please, if you identify as a Native American, please, if you could stand up. Now, and I know, starting with our community, we don't know much about the Native American history. We don't know much about the history. Today we are standing on the land that started with you, that you built from day one. So it's time for every single one of us to showcase gratitude and appreciation to this community. Even furthermore, when I talked to Brendan about this Breaking Barrier Poem vision, he said, Papa, sign us up. And I was surprised because that's not what I was expecting. So for you to feel yourself part of this community, to do that, so we are extremely grateful for everything that you've done. And I just want to showcase the fact that this is just the beginning of a collaboration. So we look forward to be there with you, and we want to have you here with us. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Now, so we know, and Daryl mentioned it, for some odd reason, we've been divided as a nation, for some odd reason. And as community, we have a tendency to sit on the sideline and watch things happen. I want to tell you today that we have a power. Look at this beautiful room, bringing people together, no matter what they look like, no matter what their background, and everything we felt here is love and appreciation. So now the question you got to ask yourself, it is, what could be my role and my responsibility when I leave this venue tonight? Am I going back to the same thing that I've been doing, meaning talking to the same people that look like me, hanging out to the same people, or am I going to make it an obligation to reach out to somebody that I've never met before and learn from them and learn about them? And I think that's something we can do. So there's something that do not require money. There's something that does not require success. But when we talk about love, when we talk about care, every single one of us is in the position to do that. And what I want us to do tonight, before we leave here, make it a point to go to somebody that you haven't met before. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Take their phone number, make it a point to be friend and be there to support each other. And we can do that. Now, I know, so Congressman Crow, I wanted you to stand here and witness this. because I want you to take this to Washington to let them know there's a community in Colorado that will never let you or give you the opportunity to divide them, because they will stand tall together. They'll be together for the betterness of this nation. So that's the message that I want you to take to DC, for them to know. Either with them or without them, we are together. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
One more time, what he brought to this world. Leaders lead, and we need a leader, and he's one. They're anointed. You don't train them, they're born. That's where they come from. God bless. We have a couple of things I'd like to mention as well. We're going to have a paddle raise coming up shortly, and before we do that, about 15 minutes prior to that, we're going to have a final call on the alcohol, just long enough for you to get your drinks and everything before we do the paddle race, because we want your undivided attention. Double shots of vodka, whatever you want to do. Double shots, load up. That way, that $10,000 won't seem like that much. 50% of your gross income, that's all we're asking for. I'd like to take a moment also to recognize the volunteers, starting with the ALG staff, Lori Collier, Usman Bao, because this looks pretty, but there's a lot of work that goes in to making this event something special. Also, all the volunteers that came out today that helped us. Stand up if you am. Stand up, take a bow, because without you, this couldn't be possible. That's the way we live on the nonprofit world. We need help. And people that come out and give their heart and soul to support an organization like this, that's just part of the whole family network of becoming one. Doesn't matter, like Papa said, every race, creed, and color was in here working today. So thank you very much. So I'm going to let you finish your meal. We'll be back in about, let's see here. I'll be back about 7:45 to call last call for alcohol, just for that 15-minute break. Y'all can drink after that. You don't have to worry. It ain't going nowhere. So relax, enjoy your meals, and we'll be back very soon. Just be seated. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 8 o'clock. We are on time. I appreciate your cooperation because that don't always happen, but we are on time. And we know you like to be diligent. We also have to be out of here because we want to keep people up, but we can if we want to, huh? You moved over here, you got to deal with the noise. Now, I'd like to get your attention because we have a special guest with us this evening. We have the new mayor of the city of Denver. I'd like to bring him to the stage. Would you please welcome Mike Johnston?
Good evening. How are y'all? There's a lot of energy in this room, and it's great to be together. I will just spend one quick moment to welcome you. I don't know if you all have met my brother from Colorado Springs, the mayor of Colorado Springs. Have you introduced Mayor Yemi yet? Have you all already welcome Mayor Yemi? We are delighted to have him. Amazing ceiling breaker, talking about breaking barriers. First ever, I think, African Immigrant Mayor of Colorado Springs, first independent mayor, amazing leader. Really excited to partner with him, and so grateful to be here. You all know I have been inspired by the work that Papa Dia and the African Leadership Group have done for decades. I started as a teacher and a school principal when they were serving individuals from all communities, all backgrounds, for all sets of needs. Really making sure that people had a home when they arrived in this country, no matter where you came from. When you got to Denver, you knew if you found the African Leadership Group, you felt like home. And that is what this community is about. I'm really inspired by his vision this year. I know to have your help in raising the resources we need to create an actual physical location so that there is actually not just an emotional sense of home, but a physical sense of home. A door you can walk in where you can meet folks from your country, from your continent, from your background, to be able to help connect to services, opportunity, work. That is a big dream and one we want to make sure we can help make happen. I'll just say one thing that I was most inspired about when I ran for mayor is that we have the chance to think about how do we open up the doors of this city to other parts of the world? How do we connect our city and our community to other cultures, other countries, other continents? And I've said the first goal for my administration around that new frontier is making this the next 2-year period where we, for the first time, open a direct flight to Africa. So that is my top international priority. We are working hard at that, not just because we know there are so many families here who want to be able to connect to families back home, want to bring them to see your new life and meet their grandkids for the first time and see the small business that you started and have that huge sense of pride when they see the life that you have built, not just because it's good for your family to come and see your success, but because when we look at the continents that have the most economic promise, the places that can open the most doors for Denver, the places that are growing the fastest, the most creatively, the most innovative, that continent is Africa. So I am excited to be here as a partner in every way I can to make sure this community feels at home, feels seen, feels heard, feels served, and that we help open up the door and the plane to get to Africa and get back and open new frontiers for this community and for the rest of the world. Thank you all so much for having me tonight.
Thank you. We look forward to your leadership in this fine city. Thank you for all the things that you're going to do. And Papa, by the way, if there's a direct flight, I will go. I will go on a direct one. Now, the 3 connections ain't going to get me there. I'm too old for that. And like you said, your dad said, when you get old, you cry. I cry a lot. I'd now like to bring to the stage a very, very special person to do what we call a mission moment. This gentleman is one of the people I met that I found to be one of the most delightful persons I've involved with since my time in dealing with ALG. His name is Majama Bai. He has such a cool, calm demeanor, sort of like myself. I like to be around people that are just kind of low-key but directed, and he knows what he's doing. He's a father of 4. He's a teacher, and he gives back to the community to serve. Majama, wherever you are, sir, come on up here, because you're my favorite.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That is the greeting, the Muslim greeting for may peace and rahmah be upon you. The reason why I started with that is that I know everybody is welcome here. But the problem that I have tonight is that almost everything that I wanted to say, this guy right here, I don't even know. He just beat me into it. But I want to start by saying that Albert Einstein once said that nothing happens unless something moves. And I would like to add to that that nothing moves unless leadership shows up. And tonight, we are gathered here because of the leadership of one man. A man that is more than a brother to me. His vision always baffles me because years back, he could see you. He could see you tonight. He could see what we are doing right now, what type of audience we would have, because he had a vision. Vision is when you see things as they could be and not things as they are. He saw that one day will come and this community will be so large that we will never be able to be content in a small place. So we started to do things. One thing that you will realize is when you walk in any events held by ALG, you know that you are about to witness something great because we do not do anything small. I am extremely pleased and honored to talk to you tonight, but my conversation would be based on would be centered on 3 points. Number 1 is community. If you know, Papa, that work will get stuck in your brain, community, impact, that's all he talks about. So today I'll be talking about community. The second point will be khidma. Now, khidma is really something that might be very new to some of you, but I will explain. Another thing is really impact, which is what we are talking about tonight. Why community is important. This year is actually, the theme is breaking barriers, building bridges. What we have to understand is that if we come together and live under the indivisible oneness of our Creator, because we all are one, neither creed nor religion, neither race nor anything can divide us. We are one, and if we understand that there is absolutely nothing we can't do. The community that we are trying to build requires each and every one of you to participate. That's the reason why I will ask one favor of you. If you love yourself, please raise your hand. And I'm talking about you, if you love yourself. Now, if you were sitting next to anybody who doesn't raise their hands, then we have a problem in the community. Let me tell you why. Because that, most of the time people think that selfishness is really when you care about yourself. Oh, Papa is looking at me. He already told me not to lecture. And I said, well, if lecturing is talking about what I know in this organization, is talking about the impact that he or all of us are having in the community, really I could be lecturing till the cows come home. So then you are out of luck. Today is lecture night. I just want to share this for people to understand that this cannot be done without support. That's the reason why tonight I will be asking you something, and I want to thank you for it before I ask, because you are so generous. I can see that. When people love themselves, they know they got to support themselves. Since you are me and I am you, if you love yourself, you love me, then you're going to support me. And we are in this community. That's the reason why my goal, I was not told to say this, but I will say it anyway, because I am me. So my goal is to ask for $1 million for ALG between now and next year. Now for tonight, I make it very easy. I'm only asking for the quarter, $250,000 tonight. We have that money in the room. We have the hearts in the room, because somebody told me, without a generous heart, wealth is nothing but an ugly beggar. And you guys are not ugly beggars. So let's reach in that generous heart to do something that we've never done. And I'll tell you the reason why. For the last 6 years, personally, I've been teaching public speaking and leadership 101 in this community, volunteering alongside my brother without any funding whatsoever. But let me tell you what funding can do for us. The center, the community center that I see, it is at the top of the hill in Aurora. When you walk in, you will see everything that the community needs. You will see that we will support people, because the way we can build us together is to start to build the little guy. How can we do that? As immigrants, when we walk in here, we are baffled and confused. But most of the time, in the case of refugees, there are a lot of centers who welcome them. But the problem is they do not know their why. They do not know what they are about. That's what we want to do with a building. I think Mr. Mayor mentioned earlier the physical home. That's what we want to build for ALG. A big community center with every single thing that we need, that everybody, all the communities that we see here, Papa will always say, do not let the name fool you. Because African Leadership Group, people might think that it is only for Africans. I don't need to prove that anymore. Tonight was enough. But what we want to do is to have a center where all our children can come and play together. When I say ours, not just the Africans. Every single child can come over there and learn their history, have after-class programs, everything that we need. Because there was a time that Russian Cornwell, the one who founded Temple University, he went around the country giving a speech, one single speech 6,000 times. He was able to raise enough money to build Temple University. We can do the same thing. Do you know what that's?
people work, coming into the bank because you need to work and you work at the bank. So eventually he started ALG. That's why we are here tonight, because of the work that you did at the bank. And hopefully tonight we make bank in order to help future generations like all the people that walked into the bank over 20 years ago. Tonight, this is called the paddle raise. All of you have a number in your hand. I would like you to grab that paddle. I'd like you to raise it in the air and practice. Let's practice raising the paddle. Would everybody please join me in raising their paddle? Let's practice. I know we're going to get some good pictures too. Would everybody please raise your paddle? Thank you. We hope that you will raise your paddle one more time tonight. With that, we are going to work together as a team to raise money. We are a movement, we are a community, and we are a team. We are not going to ask one person to carry us tonight. I am not going to stand up here and say, will somebody start us off at $125,000? I hear the groans. I'm not going to ask for one person to do it, but I'm going to tell you how we can raise $125,000 quite easily. 125 is to start. I'm not saying we're not going back past 250. This is how we can raise $125,000 easily, although that's not our goal. We have 500 people in this room tonight. Eventually, we are going to get to the $250 level. 500 times 250 is $125,000. That's how we're going to work together as a team. With that, would somebody start us off? And if we can raise the lights, please, so I can see everybody. Thank you very much. Will somebody start us off at $10,000? If I can have everyone's help, 1, 2, 3, shh, if you can hear me. This is important. Will somebody start us off at $10,000? It's a lot of money, but I also know it's a lot of impact. And if you raise your paddle at $10,000, I will personally open either bar for you, but only for you and a guest. Would anybody like to start us off at $10,000? That's okay. We have a lot more levels to go, and we're going to raise a lot of money tonight. With that, we asked for 10. That's a very, do you want me to get that for you? It might be my wife wondering where I am at. With that, somebody did not raise their paddle at 10. That's a big ask. So how are we going to work together as a team? Can we get 2 people to team up at the $5,000 level so we can make 10? And 10 is good, 20 is better. Will somebody start us off at $5,000? Paddle number 063. Thank you very much. That's how we get this thing going. That's how we get it going. This is how we're going to ride a crest of momentum. Would somebody like to join at the $5,000 level to get us 10? Can 2 people team up? If not, that's okay. We have more levels to go. Would somebody like to team up at the $5,000 level to give us 10? We have $5,000 in the bank. Give yourselves a big round of applause. We are just getting warm. Trust me on this. With that, we are going to go to the $2,500 level. 2 is nice, 4 is better. Can we get at least 2 people to team up at the $2,500 level? I would love 4, but I'll take 2. And all the way in the back, we're going to start off right there. Paddle number 0033. Thank you very much. That is 1. We are looking for at least 1 more or 3 more at the $2,500 level. Can we have somebody team up at the $2,500 level, at least one more person, to give us an even 10,000? And believe me, that will help me with my math, because I can add that easily together. Will somebody team up at the $2,500 level with that gentleman in the back to give us an even 5,000 at this level? We have $7,500 in the bank. Wait! Paddle number 090. Thank you very much. I like the fact that you are late to the party. You are my man. You are my man. Well done. 10,000 in the bank now. Give yourselves a big round of applause. That was a pleasant surprise. Now we're going to go down to the $1,000 level. This is where I'm going to get kind of greedy. But think about what we're raising money for tonight. Think about that unity poem. We are one people in this room helping other people. Can we get at least 5 people to team up at the $1,000 level? Paddle number 129. Thank you very much. Paddle number 032. Thank you very much. That's 2. Paddle number 213. Thank you very much. That's 3. I would love 7 more. I'll settle for 2. We have 3 people in at the $1,000 level. Can we get at least 2 more? There we go. And you were beautiful in the unity poem tonight. Paddle number 002. Thank you. All the way in the back, paddle number 138. Thank you very much. That's 5. Could we get at least a few more in at the 5,000? Remember, we are teaming up here. How about 2 more? 7 is a lucky number in the unity poem. In the unity poem, somebody stood up here who is Jewish. I am Jewish. The number 7 is very lucky. I don't know. There we go, my man. Paddle number 134 from Jumbo Motors. Thank you very much. Can we get 1 more person to team up? We have 6. Looking for 1 more person at the $1,000 level, and then we'll have $17,000 in the bank. We have 1 more person to team up at the $1,000 level. There we go, my man. Paddle number 209. Thank you very much. That is $17,000 in the bank. We're just getting warm, Papa. We have other levels to go. Give yourselves a round of applause. $17,000 in the bank. We have 3 more levels to go. The $500 level, the $250 level, and the $100 level. In years past, we have done a $50 level. And I'll tell you why I don't think we should do a $50 level. Because we're worth more than that. We are worth more than that. We are worth more than that. So we have 3 more levels, 500, 250, 100. Some of you are very familiar with ALG. Some of you came as a guest tonight because ALG means so much to them. So one of these 3 levels, we are going to ask you to raise your paddle at either $500, $250, or $100 in the honor of the person that brought you tonight, because this organization means so much to them. With that, we are at the $500 level. I'm going to set some reasonable goals in my own head, and I'm not going to express what they are. Can we get at least 15 to 16 people to raise their paddle at the $500 level? We already have $17,000 in the bank. Who will start us off at the $500 level? Paddle number 004. Thank you very much. Who else is going to team up? The College of Aurora. Thank you very much. It's nice to see education is working. Okay? That's 2. We have 2. Now we have paddle number 202. Thank you very much. That is 3. Paddle number 059. That is 4. Paddle number 109. Thank you very much. That is 5. Can we at least get 5 more? Now your hand is raised. Would you like to make a donation at this level? At 500. We'll take 500. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is 6. Can we get 4 more people to team up at the $100 level? By doing that, that's another $5,000 in the bank. But we need 4 more people to team up at this level. Paddle number 112. Thank you very much. Looking for 3 more people. Paddle number 043. Thank you very much. This is what we do as a team, as a community, as a movement. Can we get 2 more people? Paddle number 004. Thank you very much. Paddle number 234. Thank you very much. That is 10. 2 more gets us 6,000. Can we get 2 more people in at the $500 level? And then we'll have 6,000 at the bank to put us at $23,000. Would you like to do that, ma'am? $500. Beautiful. That's 11. Thank you very much. If we get 1 more person in at 12, that puts 6,000 more in the bank. And you think we should ask for 4 more? We need to ask for 4 more. I'll ask for 4 more. Paddle number 211. Okay, now we need 3 more people. Who's going? Who's going? There we go. Paddle number 160. Thank you very much. We need 2 more people in at the $500 level. We are teaming up here tonight, correct? We get 2 more people in at the $500 level. 2 more people. Who's going to do it? Paddle number 174. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. With that, we get 1 more person in. 1 more? 1 more at the $500 level to team up. Anybody? I'll do it. Paddle number 165. Thank you very much. The power of persuasion, my friend. I do a lot of events all over the country. I need some help. Would you like to do some events with me? You are hired. You are hired. Can I get that paddle number 1 more time? I want to make sure that I got that paddle number. Paddle number 165. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. We have $25,500 in the bank. Give yourselves a round of applause. With that, we are going to go down to the $250 level. With that, we need a minimum of 18 people in at that level. I'm going to tell you why. We're at 25.5. 18 people puts us at an even 30,000. That's a pretty good goal to have, don't you think? We're going to start it off with paddle number 114. Thank you very much. Paddle number 005. Thank you. Paddle number 091. Thank you. Paddle number 118. Thank you. Paddle number 034. Thank you. Paddle number 014. Thank you. Paddle number 021. You're awesome. Thank you. I got this side. There we go. Paddle number 148. Thank you. Paddle number 039. Thank you. Who else? We have 9. We're looking for at least 18. Paddle number 040. Thank you. Paddle number 008. Thank you. That's 11. We need 7 more to get us to an even 30,000. 7 more people in at the $250 level. There we go. Paddle number 155. We need 6 more people. We need paddle number 177. You're awesome. 5 more people. Paddle number 175. 4 more people. Paddle number 220. 3 more people. Paddle number 022. 2 more people. Paddle number 122. Now we need 1, and we got it right there. Paddle number 062. That's how we work together as a team. Keep going. The round of applause is for you, not for me. We are at $30,000 on the nose. In a perfect world, we get 50 people in at 100 to make it 35,000. That's a possibility, but let's dial it back. Let's go for 25 people in at 100 to get $2,500 more. If we get to 50, that's great. Jumbo Motors, another 250. And that's a great dress. Great dress. Thank you very much. So now we're going to add another 250. That's $30,250. Can I have your paddle number, please? Paddle number 134. Thank you, Jumbo Motors. At the $100 level or 250? 250. 250. That's what I'm talking about. Paddle number 228. Paddle number 228. Now, is that for 250? You guys are awesome. Hey, my friends. Hey, good to see you. Thank you very much. I need some help with some math here. There we go. Paddle number 044. Thank you. That's 250. Is that a yes? Is this a 250? Is that a yes? That is a yes. Paddle number 015. Thank you very much. You know, should I just open it back up to 250 again? Why not? Paddle number 176. Well done, my friend. We have 31,250. If we get 3 more people in a 250, that's an even 32. My man, rile up the crowd. My man, rile up the crowd. Rile up the crowd. Get them going. Get them going. Okay, so we got 1. We need 2 more and a 250. Paddle number 018. That's what I'm talking about. And we have paddle number 229. We need 1 more person in at this level. That would be 3 total to get us to an even 32,000. We get 1 more person. What's that? You want me to go back to 500? I'll go back. Should I go back to 500? Now, you realize what you're asking for? I do a lot of these all over the country. Very rarely do I go up. But tonight is different. And tonight is different because of that unity poem that was so powerful. Because Papa stood up here, an eloquent public speaker, pointing out every group. The European white man. People who are African American identify as African Americans. People from Africa. The Native American community. The Asian community. The Jewish community. The Latino community. I hope I hit everyone. I didn't leave anybody out, did I? Who did I leave out? Lebanese. Lebanese. Hey, you know what? I'm Jewish. Let's keep it together. That's what I'm talking about. Unity. With that, we're going to go back to the $500 level. Okay, I'm going to take a poll here. Do I ask for 10 people or 5 people? 10. 20. That's very ambitious. And I appreciate your ambition. Papa wants a brand new bag filled with cash because he used to work at a bank. Let's see if we can get there. Let's not be disappointed if we don't get 10, but let's work to try and get there and team up. 10 people in at the $500 level. Will somebody start us off? Everybody wanted 10, and now we have 1. Paddle number 128. Thank you very much. That's one. We are looking for 9 more. And if we don't get there, that's okay, because we've raised a lot of money. Let's at least get 1 more to make it an even 1,000 at this level. At least 1 more to make it an even 1,000 at this level. Then we will go to 100. Can we get 1 more person in at the $500 level? Hey, Mia, my daughter's sitting right there. Mia, will you stand up, please? She works with me on these events. Please stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, her 529 plan just was donated to ALG. You better get through in 3 years, honey. $500 from the Goodmans, and no, it will not come out of your 529 plan. You'll just be eating macaroni and cheese for the next 6 months. With that, what do we have? 32,750. Let's even this out. 1 person in at 250. Let's make it an even 33,000. Then we're going to 100, and then you get to get rid of me completely for the rest of the evening. Can we get 1 more person in at the $250 level to make it an even 33,000? Thank you very much. Yeah, I know you do not have a paddle, but we appreciate your donation. Now we are at $33,000. Now this makes $35,000 attainable. We need 20 people, hopefully more, at the $100 level to get us to $35,000. This is how we work together as a team. Who will start us off at $100? Paddle number 188. Thank you. Paddle number 223. Thank you. Paddle number 047. Thank you. Paddle number 241. Thank you. Paddle number 046. Paddle number 045. Thank you. Oh, I will get over here, trust me. Paddle number 161. Thank you very much. Paddle number 097. Thank you very much. Paddle number 055. Thank you. Paddle number 016. Thank you. Paddle number 235. Paddle number 095. Thank you. Paddle number 169. Thank you. Paddle number 208. Thank you. Paddle number 147. Thank you. Paddle number 025. Thank you. Paddle number 150. Thank you. Paddle number 215. Thank you. Paddle number 011. Thank you. Paddle number 072. Thank you. Were you all counting with me? Paddle number 028. Thank you. Paddle number 212. Thank you. Paddle number 164. Thank you. Paddle number 145. Thank you. Paddle number 071. Thank you. Would you like to donate? Is this coming out of your 529 too? You want to do $250? I tell you what, for doing $250, I'm going to give you this person's cupcake. I don't care if they come here or not. They're just, you know what? Shoot, here's the rest of them. $250, you earned it. There you go. Is that your dad's? He'll have to learn to live with the disappointment. 250 right here. Paddle number 178. Thank you very much. You have $100? Okay, who wants to go to Blackhawk? Thank you. This guy, he and I were talking in the VIP section. Big Bulls fan. Big Bulls fan. And Michael Jordan was money. Lori, before I spend it, please come take this from me. Thank you very much. Anybody else in at the $100 level? I know we are over paddle number 041. Thank you. I know we are over 35,000. I am sure of that. We are at 36,150. Now we're higher than that. Paddle number 054. Thank you. If we get 9 more people, we get to 37,000. Is that for me? Is that for me? Is sure? Because I'm telling you, my wife has no idea where I'm at with our daughter. No clue. And she has no idea my daughter's 529 plan just disappeared. Battle number 167. Thank you very much. If we get 7 more people in at 100, I believe we will be at over $37,000. If we get 7 more people, if we can't, I know everyone has given in this room. The terminology in the businesses, we've taken every penny off the table because all of you have been so generous. I'll do one last call. Would anyone else like to donate to help future generations for this amazing organization that Papa started well over 20 years ago in a bank in which tonight we've gotten bank? Anybody else? There we go. Paddle number 240. Thank you very much. And with that, we have raised $36,450. Everyone give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being so generous. I hope you enjoyed this evening. My name is Eric Goodman. Papa, I hope I didn't disappoint you, my friend. Thank you.
Very good. Put your hands together. I thought he did an excellent job. Eric, you did an excellent job. Very, very meaningful. And thank all of you for your generosity tonight, because it's what makes this organization successful as we move forward to just do better for all of our people. And I mean all of our people, black, white, green, it doesn't matter. People are people. So thank you again. At this time, I'd like to now bring up our keynote speaker for the evening, Professor Alou Sow. The professor is the Minister of Culture and Historical Heritage of Senegal since September 2022. A full professor of the Universities of African Studies of Kemis at Cheikh University at Diop from Dakar. He is also a journalist by training, and he is from the 29th class of CESTI and holds the diploma of higher education in journalism. He is also one of the leaders in, again, a country that we seek to make as a brother forever. Would you please welcome to the stage the minister, Professor Alou Sow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I think so.
Thank you, Daryl. Dear brothers and sisters, Mr. Representative of Governor Jared Police, Mr. Congressman Jason Crow, Madam Senator Rhonda Field, Excellency Mr. Consul General of Senegal to New York, Mr. Elijah Amadou Ndao, Mr. Mayor of Denver, Mike Johnson, Mr. Mayor of Colorado Springs, Yemi Mobolade, dear President of African Leadership Group, my brother, Dr. Papadia, Mr. CEO and Director of Arbor Center, Philip Sinead, Mr. CEO and Director of Denver Botanic Garden, Brian Worrell, Mr. Director of Denver Museum, dear brothers and sisters from Africa, dear brothers and sisters of the Senegalese community, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, permit me to extend to you the warm greetings and friendly encouragement of His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal, whose philosophy of action and cultural policy are the main sources of inspiration of my message to be delivered tonight. I was honored and privileged to receive from the African Leadership Group of Denver an invitation to be your keynote speaker of the 2023 8th Annual Afrik Impact Gala and deliver the inaugural lesson. Accepted with good grace for several reasons, mainly because of my academic background whose essential lines of coherence revolve around African and diasporic studies and the defense of human rights. Indeed, by the happiest of coincidence, my intellectual trajectory intersects with, very opportunely, with the theme breaking barriers and building bridges among all people. In the midst of Senegal's 11th edition of our national festival of arts and culture called the Fesnac, held in my beautiful region of Kaffrine, Dr. Papadia, his wife, and very important delegation visited Senegal and thereby paid me a courtesy visit in my office to explore the best opportunities for cultural cooperation between our institutions. I did appreciate the content of our discussions, followed by many more of the same dimensions and the perspectives we adopted, among which the important delegation from Senegal present these days in Denver. From Senegal, we are artists, educators, businessmen, mayors, high-level policymakers among you tonight to tell you to which extent you can rely on our friendship and great commitment to build together with you the strong bridges based on love, trust, and respect. Deeply rooted in our teranga, let's say Senegalese hospitality, we are more than ready, as always, to break with you the most powerful barriers to ensure happiness and security to each of us here and everywhere, by paving the way to success for all human beings. Some would say that is too ambitious. I can understand them, but we have to know that ambition is not only a right, it is particularly a duty, but we have to know it is a duty, and with a positive mental attitude that I always raise, coined by Napoleon Hill, we can easily be men and women of wonderful behaviors, positive actions, constructive actions, and spread dynamic optimism everywhere as we have it tonight in this wonderful room. It is such a great ambition, a permanent ambition to be served with passion. I invite you all, let's move together. Let's act together, some may doubt. But at the end of the day, all will join in the positive project. And I think African Leadership Group has showed the way in a very positive, dynamic, and pragmatic approach. To make this vision come to fruition, we need objectivity and honesty when dealing courageously with historical facts and their consequences on our daily lives and cultural interactions and interconnections. No relation is totally negative. In everything, in any past, we can find something positive to promote and from which to build a better common future. This is what Mahatma Gandhi and the former Indian Prime Minister Singh did when addressing in different moments of Indian history the nature and the manifestations of Anglo-Indian relations and common history. From Mahatma Gandhi's exchange with some members of the Raleigh Club in England and the Indian Majlis. It was at Oxford in 1931, Through his answer to the following question, Gandhi showed the way on how to better build cultural and socio-economic long-lasting bridges. He had this question to him. How far would you cut India off from the empire? It was the debate of that time. Mahatma Gandhi answered as follows. From the empire entirely. From the British nation, not at all, if I want India to gain and not to grieve. The British Empire is an empire only because of India. The emperorship must go. And I should love to be an equal partner with Britain, sharing her joys and sorrows, but it must be a partnership on equal terms. Many years later, Indian Prime Minister Singh message on a similar issue was quite the same. He took the following position in his address in acceptance of an honorary degree of Doctor of Civil Law from the University of Oxford on July 8, 2005. He said what follows. Today, with the balance and perspectives offered by the passage of time and the benefit of hindsight, it is possible for an Indian Prime Minister to assert that India's experience with Britain had its beneficial consequences too. Our notion of the rule of law, of a constitutional government, of a free press, of a professional civil service, of modern universities and research laboratories have all been fashioned in the crucible where an old-age civilization met the dominant empire of the day. They are all elements which we'll still value and cherish. Our judiciary, our legal system, our bureaucracy, and our police are all great institutions derived from British Indian administration, and they have served the country well. Why I come back to those courts and to the position? Because nowadays, when talking about building bridges, what we see is the rise of populists using some groups against other groups, promoting hatred, promoting rejection, promoting xenophobia because of a partial reading of the past, because of a relative reading of the past, whereas we need to approach in a whole reading the past with the good and bad deeds and actions. I have the same feelings and positions when I listen to some new African and Western activists and politicians with strategies and arguments based on xenophobia and very simplistic anti-imperialist struggle. We need to build the bridges of love, mutual understanding, and tolerance. Bridges, we certainly need them because we have many barriers to break or even to demolish. Let's call it that, like that. Starting with the imagination of black people in American culture. Despite the wonderful progress made from the dream of Martin Luther King Jr. to Barack Obama at the President of the United States of America in 2008, remembering this news and working to bring more communities together is a noble mission that could not leave me indifferent. I come from a country of Leopold Sédar Senghor, the first elected president of Senegal, a Christian in a country of 95% of Muslims, but also and above all, a man of culture, a great apostle of dialogue between cultures and people. That is why Senegal is a peaceful country, a country of teranga, where anyone, everyone from everywhere can enjoy peace, love, and happiness. It pleases me to magnify the scope of our meetings this year and the chosen theme, breaking barriers and building bridges. In reality, it is not only a constituent element of the American dream, first embodied by the founding fathers and of the assumed diversity of the constituent communities of the nation a notion of diversity deeply rooted in the motto E pluribus unum, which literally means one from many. But more fundamentally, an invitation to dialogue between cultures. This fertile ground of the civilization of the universal, a compulsory passageway for a new humanism, the only guarantor of a world of peace, prosperity, and development, shared by all and which puts the human being at the center of its core philosophy. If we want to break down barriers and build bridges, then logically we need to identify the obstacles and design the appropriate materials to build the bridges. We are here in Colorado, in the Americas, and come from Africa, the cradle of our humanity. This is why I would like to call upon history that our relation to articulate my speech, which aims to approach a close and as possible the foundations of the imagination which inhabit our daily lives and nourish their sap, sometimes murderous. The relations in life of the constituent communities of the humanity, which still does not understand that there is no possible unity without acceptance of diversity. It is indeed necessary to accept each other as different to be truly complementary. This is why we must work hand in hand to dissipate the feeling of fear which fuels tensions between communities, but also that of humiliation which creates hatred and consequently leads to revenge and murder. It is this obsession, the fear, or simply the will to dominate the order which has led our humanity to major conflicts, genocides, alterities, multifaceted oppressions, which today are so many barriers to break down, footbridges and bridges to build. Africa has suffered a lot, but has shown an incredible capacity of resilience. Indeed, the analysis of our trajectory of the Pan-African movement from the beginning of the 1900s to the first structuring meeting that began in 1919 puts into perspective a strong aspiration to assert the affirmation of the values of the black world. Edward Wilmot, Antonio Friedman, Joel Augustus Rogers, William Du Bois, Blaise Diagne, Lamine Senghor, and other great names widened the gap. But it should be noted, the contribution of great emblematic figures in the quest for affirmation of black Americans such as Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, without forgetting the actors of Harlem Renaissance such as Langston Hughes, Claude McKay, Alice Walker, just to name a few. But also those of the civic movement such as Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and many more. This aspiration was strongly supported by the world of exile in Haiti, America, and Europe. However, it was not until the Manchester Congress of 1945 that the generation of Africans associated itself with the noble presence of Kwame Nkrumah. But it was in 1959 in Rome that the true black junction really emerged with the unification of political and cultural visions, thus creating for the first time conditions of a holistic approach toward the affirmation of black identity, which is not only lamentations and revels, but also audacity and creativity. It is affirmed that Africa was not only the cradle of humanity, but that of invention and creativity. From its exceptional capacities of observation, knew how to understand the environment and invent on a daily basis the instruments essential to its development, whether it is the domestication of plants, animals, the management of fire, or the invention of steel making. Africa has, like the other continents, but sometimes long before them, enabled humanity to take giant strides. This long race forward came to a sudden and painful halt with the slave trade made possible by the loss of technical initiative from which we must draw all the lessons. Indeed, if Africa missed a significant point of inflection, which will weigh heavily on the course of its history, it was indeed the iron and steel revolution of the end of the 13th century and the beginning of the 14th century, which enabled Europe to access to the mass production of iron and steel thanks to the invention of indirect reduction. This is what exactly Dr. Jha was talking about when promoting, praising, and underlining the great contributions of those communities assembled tonight in the development of America, of Europe, and of the rest of the world. Submerged by the colossal offer of conquering Europe, which had just discovered the Americas with the phenomenal demand for manpower, which had ended up annihilating the Indians. Africa will be the plain, fully miraculous solution for the new masters of the world. This unprecedented blood-letting will empty Africa of its most able-bodied arms and its most ingenious minds. When on October 12, 1492, Christopher Columbus arrived off the Bahamas, he had just signed, without knowing it, the killing of the indigenous civilization that colonial historiography calls pre-Columbus, to avoid designating them and the massive risks to Africa for the development of the territories. The economy of violence, established by the Atlantic slave trade, does not spare any space of the visited African hinterland. Henceforth, innumerable paths of deportation, of which the most visible clues were the slave settlement of the African coast, the sadly famous Gorée Island, St. James Island, Ouaida, Elmina, Luanda, and many more. The slave trade will not have spared any corner of the continent, and it will be simplistic to read it on the only sites which crystallize its painful memories today, because each end of Africa deserves a memorial. Weakened by nearly 4 centuries of slave trade, although valiant, African military resistance to the enterprise of colonial conquest was to be defeated one after the other. It was the beginning of another century of painful deprivation, colonization, and home slavery following the abolition of slavery. We Africans must also assume our full responsibility on what happened to us, instead of only pointing the fingers of responsibility to others. Building bridges, it starts when each of us assumes his part of responsibility, and together we move forward to build a better future and build more lasting bridges. Being like a reed, the continent had bent but not broken. The resistances never ceased. They will be diverse and varied. The pacification, so much desired, will never be anything but a vain ambition. The resistances were also and above all cultural, because Africans never renounced their plural identities, with great messianic figures who were both armed and spiritual resistances. After more than a century of colonization, the increasingly globalized world were entering a new circle strewn with obstacles, the 2 world wars, and an unprecedented economic crisis in 1939, colonial wars, and soon of liberation in Africa and Asia would shake the foundation of colonial empires. I think the youths, our sons and daughters, must know all about it. It is the morbid dampness of the trenches, in the morbid dampness of the trenches, in the silent halls of the landing crafts, or even on the marshy paths of Indochina, the Senegalese skirmishes and combatants from the colonial empire will put many received ideas to the test. New paradigm emerge. The contestation of the world order as well as its racial corollary would experience and boom under the impetus of black intellectuals who would also lay the groundwork for an African Renaissance now moving forwards. My country, Senegal, since President Leopold Sédar Senghor has always worked for the dialogue of nations through culture. Also, we believe that the teaching of the African contribution to the Americas should occupy a prominent place in the school curricula throughout the world because this is so dynamic. Culture has a definite impact on young people around the world, including Africa, where culture also fits on the production of its diasporas, particularly in the field of arts and culture. The teaching of the history of Africa must be promoted everywhere in the world. So much it is scientifically proven that Africa is the cradle of the Homo genus, the cradle of religion, the cradle of food production, both vegetable and animal, and the cradle of science, in short, the cradle of civilization. Consequently, a better teaching of the history of Africa throughout the world would help to better know the human adventure, racism and exclusion. Museums should be at the heart of this teaching. We salute the efforts made here in the United States of America, particularly in the context of memories of slavery. Yesterday, we enjoyed the content of the Museum of Denver showing how to build the bridges, how to promote love, how to promote the discovery of the other so as to push long away, what is hatred. This is an opportunity to celebrate the example of Whitney Plantation, a slavery museum located in the parish of Saint Jean-Baptiste in Louisiana between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. On the famous river corridor where several plantations have been turned into museums. Throughout the history of this place of memory, the evolution of Louisiana economy is revisited in the context of Atlantic slave trade. The museum offers more precise vision of the activity of enslaved people, economic agents so much sought after the dehumanized and inventoried with furniture, tools, and animals. But one should not despair again, because a glimmer exists in the observed worlds. Throughout the memorials built on the sites, the enslaved people cease to be shadows. They carry identities which specify, for the thousands of them, their African origins. Whitney Plantation is therefore a museum designed to honor the memory of the human beings who lived as slaves on the site itself in the rest of Louisiana and everywhere else in the southern United States of America. This approach is totally different from the one of the plantation museums punctuating the base of the Mississippi Valley, where the accent is placed on the splendor and the luxury, which were the daily life of the masters. We are also proud to know that it was a Senegalese who conducted all the fundamental research on the history of the Whitney Plantation. He also worked on the content that made it possible to build the memorials that today attract visitors from all over the world. I want to name my colleague Ibrahima Seck, Professor of History at Cheikh Anta Diop University of Dakar, co-founder and research director of the Whitney Plantation Museum. The approach of this museum is all the more original as it emphasizes the dialogue between cultures. For Dr. Seck, the history of slavery is not just a story of deportation, mistreatment, unheard of violence, and forced labor punctuated by reaping in the farms of tobacco, rice, indigo, cotton, sugarcane, beyond the construction of the original foundation of economies instead of the Africans and their descendants help shape and define the cultures and identities of the Americas. This is what we are celebrating today, without hatred, without revenge, without any other behavior except promoting love and tolerance. The deportation from the African coast was certainly a story of nudity because of the African captives entered the halls of the boat practically naked and completely destitute. But one needs luggage. No one needs luggage to transport his culture. They could reproduce their material and immaterial cultures to accommodate themselves through their new lives through a permanent creativity which takes into account to all the new experiences acquired on the spot of exile. It is in this sense that we must understand creolization, which comes in terms of richness in the original culture, but also of transformation and creativity in a dynamic that gives back to enslaved people their humanity confiscated by the masters. In a context of servitude and racial segregation, Africans and their descendants showed remarkable inventiveness in building the foundations of the American economy while laying the foundations of this culture, which spread to the rest of the United States of America thanks to the migratory movements of black, thus giving this country a good part of this is the capacity for cultural influence throughout the planet. I said yesterday to some of my friends that when we talk on the pull factors that make those millions of young Africans using canoes, risking their life in the depths of the oceans, it's not only because of wealth, because of money, because of buildings, but sometimes also they want to explore, enjoy that melting pot that we are celebrating tonight, to see how people, from the greatness of their minds, from the lessons done from their wonderful histories, succeeded to come together to show the rainbow of the new world that we need to celebrate and to develop and to reinforce. Don't put it only at the economic level. We need also to celebrate those psychological level dimensions, but also those that desire to say that I am able to love, I'm able to bury revenge, I'm able to be one with the other and celebrate the African Ubuntu from which I am because you are because I am. And that's what we are enjoying tonight. Over the snowy north of Canada, it is a native of Bundu of Senegal, in the eastern part of Senegal, in the Falémé Valley, who became a hero of the War of Independence. This is Richard Pierpoint, born around 1744, made a slave at the age of 12. I will put a focus on that case. Who became a fighter for independence before asking to return to the country, Senegal, which was unfortunately refused to him. A posthumous tribute will, however, be paid to him by Canada because by no one of these reversal of which only the history has a secrecy, the House of Canada in Dakar, now located on the western coast of Dakar, facing the Americas, now bears the name of Richard Pierpoint, who must returns to the fold through the front door. This is another way of celebrating the bridges we are building and we are working on. Another native of my country who also deserves to be mentioned here is Omar Ibn Said. Omar was a Muslim scholar who wrote his autobiography, a 15-page manuscript in 1831, which is an extremely rare document, even unique, today kept in the Library of Congress. I'm working under the control of Congressman here present. The manuscript provides information on the religious, intellectual, and political history of the Middle Valley of Senegal, but also on the Atlantic slave trade and operative peace were represented to America audience in 2022 at the Spoleto Festival in Charleston, South Carolina. The Senegalese academic, Dr. Maram Sek, from Ifan Anta Diop University, is conducting now, in the promotion of building bridges, a study to explore the origin of Omar Ibn Said in Futa Toro and show what his life would be like today in his native region. The exploitation of this correspondence by Dr. Sek indicates, like Pierpoint, he too had shown the desire to return home. As we can see, ladies and gentlemen, despite the stature of history, humanity has always taken over selfishness. We must build a new world. We build stronger bridges for new connectivity to serve new connections. That's what we had some days ago. As far as Umusi is concerned, she simply embodies grace without headlights or glitter, like what Baba Mal did. This world in making, we have already seen some of its facets here in Denver, Colorado, with some figures from the world of culture in Senegal whose wonderful quality of their artistic performances has been fairly reported to me. They are the great singer, Baba Mal, and respected fashion designer, Umusi. Baba Mal is more than a voice from Africa. He embodies timelessness and can speak to everybody. The depth, power, and vibration of his melodies with powerful universal messages are certainly very related to the success of the Black Panther, which has given us a part of our shared history, but not always fairly promoted. Arts of adornment and clothing in the African variation and the generous openings to culture from around the world. To tell the truth, Umu embodies and translates through her creation a fruitful dialogue between cultures which participates in the continuous production of humanity, the achievement from which one can build the new pillars of the development of a universal civilization. I would like now, before concluding my remarks, to thank with the greatest sincerity the African Leadership Group of Denver for holding this type of meeting, which invites us by showing the good way to more humanity, a better humanity with clear actions to break barriers and promote a genuine dialogue between cultures. Dr. Ja, we have suffered too much from the clash of civilization and incompatibility to allow us in the digital age to erect new barriers. On the contrary, we must build the bridges that will take us across seas, oceans, glaciers, deserts, forests, and savannas, so as we all find ourselves together at the banquet of the universal, I would speak, President Leopold Sédar Senghor of Senegal. It is that positive way of dialogue for peace and love that President Macky Sall has put Senegal on. This is the choice of Africa in international relations. This is the way chosen by African Union. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this is the message that I wanted to convey to you. A message carried by an African voice in the lands of the Americas. What we enjoy tonight is the proof that when we decide, we can make it. Dr. Papadia, let me tell you that we are proud of you. When I say we are proud of you, I don't say we Senegalese. I say we humankind. We Americans, we Africans, we Latinos, we Asians, because of your vision, your commitment, your desire to put people together. This happened not only today, but many times before, moving every year in a better way, because you have succeeded to convince each of us, everybody, those who are assembled tonight, and those who are watching and following, that the way to choose is the way of African Leadership Group. If congressmen, mayors, all communities are assembled tonight, it's not only to praise a person. It's not only to celebrate a man, but it's to celebrate a vision, actions, results. So thank you. Be blessed. God bless America. God bless Africa. And please, such kind of events must be not only organized here in Denver, Colorado, but all over America, in Africa, particularly in Senegal. We have something to tell positively. We have witnessed the strong emotions based on truth and love. You are love builder. Be blessed, my brother. I am so happy to have the proof that my feelings when I met you are the real ones, that I was joining with my delegation, with Senegalese officials, good persons, a good person, a great vision, a vision of a better future, of a better world. With you, together, we'll succeed. Thank you very much, and be blessed.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Minister. And we have few award, and I'm gonna call your name, and if you can join me on stage. So, Professor Majama, if you could join me on here. Jumbo Motors, if you could join me. Omar, if you could join me here. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, Omar. Jumbo, where are you? If you could join me, Professor. As you know, the African Leadership Group, we primarily focus on three pillars: social impact, economic impact, and educational impact. And the gentlemen that you have on stage here, they're the ones that have showcased amazing work in the community on those. And I'll start with Professor Majama. So the African Leadership Group is so proud to present to you the 2023 Social Impact Award in recognition for your commitment of success, individual and to the community. So thank you so much. So we are so proud, and so many people in the community has been touched and impacted by you. So thank you so much. So next we'll go to the Education Award by our brother Omar. My man. So thank you so much for everything you've done. So the African Leadership Group is present to you the 2023 Education Impact Award in recognition for your advocacy and leadership toward education and opportunity for all. So thank you so much for everything you do, brother. Thank you. We appreciate you. So now we have Brother Jumbo for the 2023 Economic Impact Award in recognition for your service and support to the community. Jumbo, thank you so much for everything you do, getting most members in our community into a car. They can get to work on time and come home. So thank you so much. So let's give them another round of applause. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Now, as you know, Brother Yemi, so as you know, this year's theme is breaking barriers and building bridges among all people. What a better way to have somebody that's originally from Africa that really paved the way for us to believe, even though we might come here as immigrants, but we can one day make it to be an elected official. So I want to welcome Mayor Yemi, and I'm so tempted to call you Brother Yemi. Mayor, come here on stage. And the African Leadership Group would like to present to you the 2023 Breaking Barriers Award in recognition of your historic success, unifying leadership, and service to the community. Thank you for paving the way, and we hope that many of us can follow through. Thank you so much for giving us the honor to be here. Thank you so much, brother. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate it, man, for giving us the honor to be here. Yeah, thank you. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I want to call our Mama Umusi on the floor, and I don't know where the models are sitting, but we would like to bring all the models to get on the stage so you can see her beautiful work that she's done, and by giving us the honor to be here. And part of this presentation, I'm going to do it in French for her to understand. So, and we all call her Mama because she's a mother to all of us. Donc, Maman, c'est avec beaucoup d'appréciation et de gratitude que l'African Leadership Group te présente ce award en reconnaissant ton travail artistique et culturel pour l'inspiration que tu as, non uniquement pour le Sénégal, mais pour le monde entier. Merci de nous avoir honorés de par votre présence. And can I get the model on stage, please? So this is all her work that she's done. And if you did get a chance to make it, and you can see the beauty of all the work that she's done. So this is all. So thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So thank you. And I want you to stay on stage while I call the next person. All right, thank you. So now, Jason, can I get the next person? You guys don't move, please. So now I want to call the Minister, Professor Aluso, on stage. So we have an award for you with the 2023 Building Bridges Award, and thank you so much for being here in recognition of your international impact of connecting cultures. So on behalf of the African leadership and the entire community, we want to present this award to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. Now let's give everybody a round of applause here for this beautiful work. And let's give a round of applause to the models. So thank you so much for the amazing work. So thank you so much. Also, she's busy. All right. So thank you, everybody. You guys look beautiful. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's all? I got everything? Okay, thank you. Now, as we wrap tonight, I want to personally thank every single one of you. I know we have people that flew in overseas, people that flew in out of state to come and spend their time and also their dollars in support of the organization. So we are so grateful to all of you being here. And let's celebrate continue the celebration every year, and let's start it tonight. So Daryl, I'll turn it back to you. So thank you so much, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. So we're gonna wrap this up, but a couple of announcements real quick. First of all, for those of you that made a paddle raise donation, if you didn't have your card registered at the table, would you please see the people that have registration so they can get your information so that they can collect your funds for your donation, and we appreciate that. Also, very shortly, real quick, I have a PSA announcement I'd just like to run by you. It's regarding a performance, and I'll read it to you really quick. Very quick announcement. We have a little giveaway. We have 2 free tickets. So 2 and 2, so that means 2 people can come up, and there'll be 4. 2 free tickets to a performance to see Okada Afrozo September 27th at 7:30 at the Newman Center with a pre-show reception at 6:15. So here's what we're going to do, since we don't have time to do a drawing or anything. If you want the tickets, just come to me. The first 2 people that come get the vouchers, and we'll do it that way. I'll be the most sought-out man in the whole deal. So again, thank you for your time. We know that your time is precious. Thank you for your donations. We hope to see you again next year for African Impact 9th Annual Gala. God bless. Be safe. Have a good day. Bye-bye.